Hello, families. I am here today to read with you the story Giving Thanks with Max. It's written by Todd and Jackie Courtney, and as I read along, I'm going to give you tips and tricks of things that you can do with your student as an educator. And that's what we all are, parents and teachers alike are educators. So as I read along, I'll give you some tips to do as you read. And remember, the things that I give you are not to be done, all of them, during one read. It's to split it up over the different reads that you'll read to your student, because we all know that favorite books are read a lot and we read them many times to our learners. So let's read the story, Giving Thanks with Max. And we always start with talking about the cover of the book. What we can see, we can predict what's going to happen in the story as we look at Max and the little bird in the picture. You talk about the spine of the book, and we also will talk about the author and the illustrator, because those are very important people. This is why we have this book. So always go over those types of information. Here's our title page, Max Rhymes, Giving Thanks with Max. And again, it tells our author and our illustrator. These books also have some words to know, some pre-reading activities, so you can make sure your learner knows these words before you read the story, because if they are not aware of the vocabulary in the story, it's going to kind of sound like wah, wah, wah as you read to them. So you want to make sure you go over that vocabulary with your student so they know those words. So that's nice inside these books. You have this list that you can go through and just do a little quiz. Do you know what the word above means? Let's put your teddy bear above your head, just to make sure that they do understand as you read. I like to give thanks 100 times a day. It makes me feel better in every single way. And so here you see Max on the page, and he's giving thanks for the birds and the trees and the things outside. And you can talk about with your student, what things would you give thanks for? If you were Max in this picture, what would you give thanks for? Maybe that your child is a flower person, or just an outdoorsy path walking kind of person. You also have rhyming words on each page. And so this is day and way. You can pull those words out and talk about those two particular words, but then you can also come up with other words that would rhyme. What else rhymes with day, way, say, play, and have your student come up with some rhyming words. Every day when I go outside, it feels like the trees and the flowers are alive. Their colors are so bright and they stand so tall. I just want to give thanks and hug them all. You can talk about, again, all the things that he's thankful for on this page. And you can also talk about that little talking bubble above Max. And you can see that he is saying, thank you. And when you read the story, you can give Max a voice. Sometimes giving them a different voice really entertains your students as you read along the story. Giving thanks for the little things is just a smart thing to do. It not only makes me happy, but it makes others happy too. So you have to and do as your rhyming words. You can talk about the setting of the picture. You can see now, where do you think Max is coming from? Is he getting on the bus? Is he getting off the bus? How do you know? Who are those characters in the window of the bus? Are they, you think, his friends? Do you think that they live close by? How do you know this? What makes you think that? You can also go over little things like, how old do you think Max is? We know he has to be school age because he's riding a bus. So you can help deduct those different items as you read. As I walk to school each day, I always look up to the sky. I give thanks for heaven above and say thank you to the birds flying by. And so again, there you see Max with his talking bubble, and he's saying thank you for heaven and for the birds. And you see Max walking along and just observing. And then you can be with your student next time you're outside with them. Remember that book we read last night? What are some things you're thankful for, just like Max was thankful for when you're walking in the park, or when you're headed to school, or when you're headed home from school? I like it when the days are sunny, but I always give thanks for the rain. Rain gives us water to drink, so we should never complain. You have the words rain, complain. And this is a good stopping point, too, to see complain. What do you think that word means? Do you ever complain? Does mommy ever complain? So think about and use that word so that they really take that into their minds and remember that word. And then you can also discuss rain. What does rain do for our world? Why is he not complaining about the rain? Rain gives us water to drink. What does that mean? Do we drink the water from the sky? What happens to the rain? Where does our water come from? This can open up lots of different conversations. I love to lie on the grass and look up at the sky. I give thanks for all the clouds that are passing by. So there's the talking bubble again. Thank you for the clouds. And then you have all sorts of things to talk about with this. Not only did you just talk about rain, then you can talk about the clouds and different kinds of clouds. And this may even lead your student to wanting to get on the internet, find out about different types of clouds and what those big names are for the various clouds. You can even do an experiment with clouds and rain. So there's so many things that a book can do than just reading the book. When I sit at the table and I look at my food, it's nice to give thanks and show gratitude. Gratitude, food. So you can talk about those ending sounds. And another good thing also is you can food, ood, ood, gratitude, ood, ood. You can kind of bounce out those sounds if your student's having a hard time with hearing those rhyming words, and just really break down that last sound, ood, tude. Even though gratitude has multiple syllables in it, you still have that ood at the very end. Again, you see a talking bubble for thank you for my meal. You can talk about the family. You can talk about jobs. How do you think all that got on the table? Do you think Max helped his mom set that table? You have so many things that you can do on talking points on each page. Every night when the sun goes down, I open my eyes and I look around. I see all the things from throughout the day and give thanks for the good things in hopes that they stay. Now, your student can look at this and compare it to their home. Do you have a treehouse like Max has a treehouse? Do you have a sandbox, a bicycle, a swing set? Can you see the sunrise from your house, or do you have to go someplace else to see the sunrise and sunset? All these things can be discussed. You can also discuss, is the sun rising or setting? Well, how do we know? How would we figure that out? So there's lots of things that you can talk about. We would look at the story and we can certainly say each night when the sun goes down. So that has to be at nighttime. And we know the sun sets in the west. So therefore we would know exactly where how his house faces. So lots of good conversation that you can have. And again, you always have day, stay, things that you can look at there with your words. Every night before I go to sleep, I say thank you for everything from my head to my feet. You can discuss a setting in this page. Where is he? What's he getting ready to do? How do you know? Looks like he's getting ready to take a bath because the water's in the tub and the duck is floating. You also can tell he's getting ready. He's checking himself in the mirror. Maybe he's getting ready to brush his teeth. You can talk about your order. What do you do before you get into the tub? Do you brush your teeth before you get in the tub or after you get in the tub? Get out of the tub. Do you have your water? Do you have a duck in your water just like he has in his bathtub? You see the towels are ready for him to go. All those things you can discuss the setting of this picture. Every night before I slumber, I think about my day and then I wonder, what were the best things that happened this day? I want to give thanks in every possible way. You have way, day, slumber, wonder. So you have some good rhyming words there. And he also has a talking bubble here where he says, thank you for my teacher, my friends, and my family. And so you can discuss, what would you be thankful for at night when you lay down at night? Would you be thankful for your friends, your family, your teachers too? And at the end of our storybook, we have all the different characters in the story, and you can go over these characters. Which ones did you see in the story? Which ones were active participants? Which ones do we just get a glance at, someone that we just saw? And then you have the little books that you can also look for. And then the end of our books. And remember, you have these QR codes. You can also go on to the Max Rhyme Foundation and find some activities to do, as well as just different little coloring sheets and things that you might want to print off for your little learner to go along with the book that you've just read. Thank you.